building with Beast. Check it out.
Yo, we building with Beast. Y'all know what's going on, man. I'm actually super honored by this invite, man. This is dope setup. Man. Yo, I'm here, man, with Beat Behemoth.
The Almighty.
You've been putting in work for a long time, huh?
Are you trying to tell him how old I am? Yeah.
I think you're still younger than me.
Long
I think
time,
you're still younger than
long
me.
time.
But yeah, just like, it's funny. Like, I had been seeing that name for a while. I have been seeing that name for a while, and we actually met through Pete.
Yeah, Pete
down at Poughkeepsie at the Benny the Butcher concert.
That's right. Yeah.
Because I was online and I was saying, like, I went to my man Keith's wedding and they took a picture of me when I got the vest on, I got the tie on, slacks, and the picture was dope. And I kind of did some effects to it, and I'm like, yo, this would be a dope album cover. So then I added the parental advisory tag on it and all that type of thing, gave it a title. And I was like, yo, I think I might do like a little EP, little 5-6 songs song. So when I said that, Pete was like, oh, I got a producer for you, he dope, da-da-da-da. So when he seen I posted I was going to the Benny show, he's like, yo, we'll be down there, I'll introduce you to him when we get down there. And remember, I was with Keith. So Keith was like, oh, because he from Rensselaer. So,
yeah.
Small world, man.
Yeah, we all came up. Shout out to PD Barber and to Keith, man. Like, those dudes knew me when I was a kid, across the river, right? Like, so, and PD always, man. That dude, he helped me so much with like getting myself out there, cause I was like a basement dude, just hiding out, making beats in the stash and having like all these beats and no one to listen to them and shit. And Pete would like send my beats to dudes. That's how I got my first placement. So that dude's always been a like advocate of like my movement, right? Even before I was, probably, like, he was that dude. So I give him all his props and respect, man.
That's what's up. So how'd you get into this? What made you even start playing around with the music and all the way up until you started producing?
So here's the best kept secret I'll tell you, is that I'm a rapper. I'm an incredible rapper. Like, I'm a better rapper, to me, in my opinion. I'm a better rapper than I'm a producer. Like, that's how I started. But in the early days of this, it wasn't as easy as it is now to have like your own setup. So what did we do? We had beat tapes. We had, DJs. Maybe if you knew someone with a turntable or something like that could spin instrumentals. But so early on, being a rapper, and I was like this white rapper, right? That wasn't like it is now. It just wasn't. It was, you're talking before Eminem. Not like again, this is the 90s, you know? And no one really took that serious at that time. So like, for me to get beats from dudes, cause the dudes that did make beats were like, nah. And then like, it was just not the era to be able to just download shit. I had to start making beats, so I started making beats.
So it came from a necessity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, I tell people, like, that's kind of how I started doing editing and kind of started doing graphic design, because I was a photographer that didn't have the money to pay for nobody to edit, so I had to really just teach myself until I got better, and now it's easy to me. Now it's simple to me. Who are some people that you produce for? So
the first placement I ever got, for real, like, my heart back in the day, my group, we had so many names and shit, but shout out to my man Long God and my man Big Game E. Like, we had a crew back in the day. So first I was making beats there, but I was like the secondary beat dude. Like, my man Long was like, he was like my mentor, teaching me shit. And I every once in a while would have a beat that made the cut, and people and they would jump on, but not everything. And they was quick to tell you too, like, get rid of that. That ain't it. But like, over the years, going hard, then pulling back, like family life, everybody know about that shit. And then in like, I don't know, 2012, I started getting into making beats on the computer. Shit just changed, and just making beats. So for the longest, it was just those beats that I was making with that crew. It just was a different time. But then I got my first placement with RJ Payne. So And again, I shout out to my man Petey Rock because I didn't even know he did this shit.
Yeah.
Like he hit me on text one day and was like, "Yo, check your IG." And I'm like, "Huh? I'm at work. Like I'm not even in the mind frame, right?" And I'm looking at the IG and I couldn't even understand what was going on. Like I got tagged in this RJ Payne shit. And like to me, like, yo, I'm an underground rap dude. I always have been. This is just, it's always been that for me. I've always stayed the same with this shit. But that was big for me. Because like huge. These are dudes I'm listening to.
RJ
right?
Payne is he's an animal crazy. He get busy. I'm a big RJ Payne fan. So yeah. You saying that was, I'm like, ooh, that's dope.
But I didn't even know he had the beat, you know what I'm saying? So it was like out of nowhere, and P's like, yeah, I sent him a bunch of beats. And I'm like, I used to tell him, don't send my beats to nobody. So I wanted to be mad, but how you gonna be mad at that?
Yeah. Nah, that's dope.
Yeah, man.
Anybody else? Any other names that people will recognize that have used your beats that have?
Albany Lou, yo.
Shout out to Albany Lou, that's my guy. Shout out to
Albany Lou. Look, PD Rock calling me right now, man.
Shout out to PD Rock.
PD Rock calling me right now. Shout out to Albany Lou. Yeah, for real. Lou was the first dude, and I met him again through Pete. Pete advocating for me. I met Lou, and we met and we clicked. He been to my house, had him listening to beats, and I had never given nobody a beat before that, except for the shit Pete had given to RJ. So Lou was loving it. I was loving Lou. Lou's whole vibe, like, if people who don't know Lou, that's a real one, man. Like, his whole vibe is like, I don't know if you know him, if you know him, you know what I'm saying? So, we clicked off of that, and I was just like, yo, you got whatever, pick of the litter, you know what I'm saying? And he took some beats, but what he liked was that joint that we ended up doing with Conway, Backstrap. And that was some shit that I had already. It was just a beat I made, and sometimes I make a beat and it just makes me want to write. So I had like 32 bars on that joint or something, like just was just rhyming for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, and Lou liked it. Was like, yo, can I get on that? So I was like, yeah, 100%. Let's go. Lou did 32, and then Lou being Lou one day calls me and is like, yo, I could get Conway on this shit. Like, just nonchalant, right? Like, regular. Like, mad regular. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, me, I'm like, I just did a backflip at 40 years old, right, in my basement, and Lou's like, I could get Conway on this shit. I'm like, okay. Like, so that placement right there. I got some work in the stash, too, with some artists, like, because I had a project I was working on, so shout out to Ito out Rochester.
Shout out to Ito. I rock with Ito.
Listen, man, if y'all don't, Ito's one of the best rappers on this planet.
He get busy. His flow, his voice, his cake.
Crazy. Busy. And with the beats. But we did a joint together, so it's more my joint, but he's on the beat, so it's kind of a placement. But copy. I'm going to drop that, though, because the project, I got into a different mode and didn't want to do it, but the song is still relevant and dope as fuck, so I got that ready to drop.
Yeah, drop that, man. Stop holding on to it. I never really understood that, like, from the outside, looking in. Artists holding records and not, like, I get it if it's some legal stuff and you can't clear it or something like that, but just people be trying to wait for the perfect time, and it's never gonna be the perfect time, and drop it and let the people engulf it, man. Like, let it go.
It's you're right, but it's a lot too, when, like, and I can only speak for myself and my perspective, but like, I make the beats. I also run the studio, so I gotta do what I don't want to do sometimes. Not that I don't, and to all the people I record, don't take it the wrong way, but I'd much rather make music than record other people's music. It's just that's money, that's business. But for me, the drug is creation. So, but being that, and then like you was talking about, I put all my money into making the beats, having the studio, so I had to learn how to do all the other stuff, the engineering, the mixing, the mastering, out of necessity, because it was just like then you got to pay for that on top of it, So, there's a lot that goes into just doing what I do. So then all the extra shit, like, I'm not as active as I want to be on social media, right? Yeah. Like, that to me that's how you get it out there, but like, where do I budget that time? So I understand it, but I also get mad at myself. Like, yo, you got music, release it. And I know a lot of artists that do that. I work with a lot of artists. They same thing. It got music not getting released, but it's part of it, man. It's just part of it.
Like you just like some sounds fade, and some sounds are forever, but some sounds fade, and sometimes the moment fade. So I feel like the world is so big right now, especially like you said with social media. You could wake up every morning and dig in your nose and find an audience for it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why
sure.
I'm like, yo, just let it go.
For sure.
Just put it out there. Like the people that's gonna like it is gonna find it and they gonna like it. Pesci, you've done some work with my guy Pesci Kruger. I've heard some.
Oh my god.
Yeah, shout out to my guy Pesci Kruger.
Yo.
Live.
Shout out to Pesci. The shit about Pesci, like we met. So doors open, right? Like I believe in a lot of like karmic type things, right?
Yeah, like crossings and meetings and.
I manifested everything. I did. I was hiding in the basement making beats and working 9 to 5 and doing that to support my family. And the beat thing was like this big secret. And the rapping too, right? Like, I mean, my people know, but I wasn't sharing it with the world, you know? I made a decision one day based on a lot of things growing up and learning and thinking and whatever, evolution, right? And I was like, yo, I need to get myself out there. And I started manifesting like what I wanted it to be. Like, and really it wasn't a money or like a fame thing. It was more of a like, I want to make music with talented people. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
And even people that I listen to, like the goats to me, like that's what I'm going towards, you know. And I've had that opportunity now, but like I met Pesci through Lou, because Lou and Pesci used one of my beats on what's the name of that song, the Magic and Bird joint. So that was the first beat Lou actually used. Matter of fact, he did the joint with Pesci. I was reaching out to Pesci online. We would like touch base in comments, you know, like I show support out there when I am online. I'm like, you know, letting people know like, yo, I'm behind you, you know. So Pesci was one of them dudes, and then he hit me one time like, yo, come to the studio. Matter of fact, we're sitting in the building that he told me to come to, because in the back of my studio that we're sitting in is Foster House. Shout out to my motherfucking man Merc, one of the greatest musical minds anyone could ever come across. Like, if you ain't familiar with Merc, man,
that's up here too?
You gotta get familiar. Yeah, Foster House Studios.
You know, I met Merc at Guitar Center when we shot the
right. Yes.
What was the name of that song?
Old Head.
Same song. Same song when we shot that video.
So that song, Pesci has me come down here to a session. He's recording for Pesci Kruger 3 with Merc. Merc is Pesci works exclusively with him on his album time, as far as like getting his recording and stuff like that done.
Gotcha.
Because Merc he's that dude, right? But he also that dude with the beats, just on the low. Let motherfuckers know. But meet Pesci. He's like, all right, well, play some beats, right? First beat I played, Old Head, same song, because he told me what he was looking for. He was looking for that old school, like sample heavy, light drums or no drums, even kind of like just something that had that feel. And I'm like, yeah, I got that, because I got that all day. So I start playing. That was the first joint we played. Played through a bunch of beats, and I think like looking back on it, I was kind of nervous. Like, this is my like meet and greet with some folks that I never met and people that I look up to musically. And now when they tell me now, they're like, yo, we were like, well, who the fuck is this dude? You know what I mean? Like, you just playing beat after beat after beat. Then Pesci takes that joint. He's like, yo, we can record. I got something for that right now. He wrote it, right? So Pesci writes the joint on the spot. And I'm like, yo, how the fuck did he just do that? Like, I'm a writer. I can't do that. He wrote that shit on the spot. Anyone, ladies and gentlemen, Pesci Kruger wrote that shit. He's a savage with that pen, man.
Nah, he love rap for real.
So he writes his shit. That put mad pressure, right? So Merc and me are both like, yo, can we get on this? Now, again, I'm just meeting both of these dudes for the first time. Pesci's like, let's go. I wrote the hook. So I sang the hook on that shit, and I'm not a singer, but I can.
That was dope,
I got one octave that I can stay inside of, right? So I'm like, yo, I got something for the hook, and then I'm like, yo, I got a verse too. I had a verse that I had written recently, not really to nothing, but just wrote, and tweaked some of it to make it fit, and then we made that song on the spot. And to me, like, yo, that's one of the songs I'm most proud of in my life, because it's just one of my favorites. Such a chill ass song.
Nah,
Yeah,
I'm gonna be honest
crazy.
with you. Like, you know, we live in a day and age where nobody really dives into albums no more. Like, you kind of listen through an album, you pick 2 or 3 songs off the album, you add them to a playlist. You know what I mean? Like, we're not forced to listen to, like, with a CD. Like, you gonna be skipping forever. You kind of almost had to listen through an album. Now, in the playlist era, you don't have to.
Yeah.
So I kind of skimped over that song. But being at the video shoot for it, you know, we playing it over and over, and it really, really grew on me, and now it's my favorite song off the album.
Yeah.
Nah, it really grew on me, and because I
appreciate that.
It gave me time with it, and then other thing, you know, with music is about time and place, like where you're at, how you feeling in the moment, what you're going through, like all of that affects whether a song is gonna resonate with you in the moment you hear it. But nah, that song grew on me, and it's dope, man. Nah, like overall, man, I really I started following your page. Like you said, you're not heavy on social media, but you got a presence. You show yourself. But nah, I'm a real fan of everything that you're doing.
Appreciate
brother.
that, man.
And the rapping. Every time I heard you rap, it was tough.
I'm trying to tell motherfuckers.
Nah.
That's the part that people don't know, man. I mean, I've been doing that shit so long. I should be good at it. You know what I'm saying? But beats too, I've been doing it almost this long, but I was never a beat dude. I was just trying to make beats, you know?
Yeah.
I could rap from day one, and that was just always, always what I was known for. And having that to, like, think about this. I'll tell you, what's my man, and I'm sorry, this is not because I'm forgetting my man's name, because I always knew him as Soundwave.
Gotcha.
Right? What's my man's name? Biz, right? Wizzy Hoffa. I'm sorry, Wizzy Hoffa. My apologies, bro. It's just that when I knew you was Soundwave. Yo, he's another dude.
We recently connected, and like we sit on, he had called me and Wizzy sit on the phone for an hour, 2 hours, just chopping it up about like where music is at. We might chop it up about battle rap. Like, I like homeboy.
Yo,
cool dude. Yeah,
I used to rap in circles with him way back when, and there used to be like battle rap shit, lyricist lounge type shit. And it ain't like battle rap today. Battle rap today is like, you know, you're gonna battle somebody. You're writing.
Yeah, battle rap back then was like just come with your best verses.
Yeah, you just came with verses.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And we used to be in those circles, and I knew people. He knew Albany's not the biggest place, right? Like, so we always knew each other for that, and but he's another dude. Like, that dude rap. Now he's transitioned into DJ, and he's transitioned into a personality, influencer, a mentor to people out there and shit, managing people, artists, a producer. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So that's the generation I came from, and the respect I have for anybody really who's creative and putting herself out there, man. Because you know that's a whole thing, man.
Yeah.
You know, so
and I think now is the time for the creatives. I think since the beginning of forever, other people have been eating more off the backs and the talent of the creative than the creatives.
Yeah. And
I think right now with these platforms and stuff, and the ability to put your own stuff out, the ability to just hit the button and go live and show, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think now is like prime time for the creator.
Yeah.
To show what they do.
There's no limit on what you can do now. And we were very limited back in the day.
Goodness.
You had to know somebody to get your tape to, if you could make a tape. Like it
even
was
like
a
you
lot,
was talking
man.
about on the way up the steps, sports. You know how hard it was to put together a highlight compilation or VHS tapes? Alright, no, now it's the click of a button. Now you can do it all from your phone. Man. It's definitely a different time, and like I said, that's why I'm saying, like, the ability to promote yourself is there. Yeah. So I think now it's the time of the creative, man. So what else? What you got in the works, man? What's on the horizon?
Well, mostly right now I'm working with a lot of artists locally. You know, obviously speaking with Pesci, I know dude's always working. on everything, but I know he's got some stuff coming up, and he's looking to listen to some music. Been up in here and stuff, trying to catch the vibe. Obviously, you know, any local artist out here that zooms, you know, come see me, man, because I think you'll be satisfied.
I think
you know what I'm saying?
I think you'll be impressed.
yeah.
I think you'll be impressed. Like I said, the setup super comfortable in here.
Yeah.
Like, the venue is crazy. Like, especially on a night like tonight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? On the game night, it's crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I'm bringing the go-getters through. So look forward to that.
Go-getters,
I'm telling
yeah,
y'all
man.
that right now. You
Can't wait for that shit, man.
Like
real.
that's in the making, so y'all can look forward to that. I'm manifesting that verbally right now. But yeah, man, we gonna talk again, because I know you got a long story. I know you got a lot for me, so we definitely gonna talk again more in depth. Just wanted to introduce my fans to somebody. Listen, so like I said, the go-getters. One half of them is a friend of mine that I've known since 3rd grade, right? He's been rapping for as long as I can remember, but life got in the way. He came home like, yo, I'm really about to go hard with the music. I'm like, all right, bro, let me know when you're ready, because I got producers for you, I got studios for you, I got engineers for you, I got features for you, like, I got access to performances for you, so let me know.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you come home, you got to re-assimilate to life. So he like, yeah, I'm not ready. I'm not even ready to be around that many people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was just waiting for him to say he was ready. And the second he said he was ready, I'm like, all right. So the video that we did a few weeks ago, Rich Off Pain.
Yeah, that's
shot by Cinematic Cartel. Thank you. That was actually like my co-director debut right there.
Yeah.
So if you see that video, it says shot by Cinematic Cartel, directed by Cinematic Cartel and Beast.
Yeah, right. Shout out to Cinematic Cartel.
Yeah,
too.
no, that's my dog.
That dude's good at his craft, man.
We shooting that video. We at the video shoot, and I get the text message that one of the battlers that was supposed to be in the 25 to Life event wasn't gonna be able to make it, so we lost the battle. I text Pesh like, yo, Pesh, I need a performance slot. We need a performance slot. We got time to kill anyway. He's like, all right, cool. I actually sent him some footage from the video shoot, and then I sent him Apple Music. In doing that, I forgot that on my actual birthday, Pesh came through and my man was there, and they all chopping it up, playing each other music for each other, and built like, we gotta do something together. I forgot about that. But so I had them from the video shoot. I had them the very next day performing at the 25 to Life battle event. You know what I mean? So the second he told me he was ready to come to the world, so that's why I tagged you.
Bring him out.
I tagged you in the thing like, yeah, Beat Behemoth.
Bring him out.
Yeah, so they coming. But this is dope, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, I appreciate you,
like
man.
I said,
I appreciate
let
you
that
taking the
music go,
time, man.
Let that music go, man. I want to hear it.
It's coming.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
It's coming.
You definitely gonna see a lot more of me, just in general. Like I said, this is a dope vibe, dope setting, man.
Appreciate it, man.
And I'm just a fan. I love music. You know what I mean? I used to rap because, like you said, we grew up in a time where everybody rap. You even rap the beatbox, the breakdance. Like, we just came up in that time. So I've rapped ish, but I really just love it, and I just. As far as your production, right? Do you stay in the realm of what you like? Because for this younger generation, they listen to a different type of music. They listen to different, like, the beats. Everything is different. And it seems like a lot of even some of the original producers transition into the drill and the wavy or the trap or the...
I can do anything musically. Like, I can do whatever. I'll say though, the music that I feel that makes me move is the music I feel is gonna sound best. That ain't the right way to put it, but like, I'll put it like this: like, I make trap beats, I make drill beats, and people love them.
Gotcha.
I don't.
Gotcha.
So when I judge those beats, I don't judge them as beats that I think are good. And it's not a knock. Please don't take that as a knock. Yo, music evolves. I love all forms of music. It's just like the music that makes me want to get my pen is different from like what's going on in some other pockets, right? You know what I'm saying? It's the same as people who listen to country music or rock and roll. It's just different lanes, different tastes, different things touch your soul, man, you know? So like, but as far as like what is gonna drive the beat for me though, it's an energy, man. It sounds, it's a lot of times, man, I really feel like there's something else that guides that, like you're just tapping into something, because I could come here and listen to a song that, like, if I'm digging in the crates, right, I could come here and listen to a song and download it or record it, depending on where I get it from, right? And then be like, make a beat out of it that day. And it would be like, it'd be this dope ass beat. Because I'm going to be honest, every beat I make is dope. Just so everybody knows that we're all clear, right?
Dope as shit.
But if I waited and used that same thing the next day, the same song that I took the sample, would have taken the sample from, the next day it's going to be a totally different thing. And that happens a lot. It's songs that I sample and I'll go back to like clean it up now that I'm like a better mixer than I used to be, right? So now I'm good at the mixing and master, and I'll hear something and I'll be like, yo, let me go back to that beat, make it sound like I know I can make it sound now. And then I'll end up changing the whole shit. Because it's just like this, there's just different energies and different things that tap into you when you're open to that type of energy, man. I really believe that, like, it's kind of like something that's going on outside of yourself that you're just in tune to. And the more you do it, the more in tune to those things you become. And like, you know, and that's why there's some like really, you know, there's a few dudes out there I look at that's like, yo, that dude is tapped the fuck in, you know? Even Kanye, who sometimes make us think he's tapped out. That motherfucker's tapped into that energy for sure.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
His creativity has always been amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, trying to navigate other things in life we struggle at sometimes, or seemingly from the distance that we're at. But who knows what he really knows? But now, creatively, he's always been unquestionable.
Oh yeah. There's a different level of that shit that you can get to, man. I just believe that, and like everything you work towards, you're taking steps towards it. In 5 years, I'm gonna look at myself now like, I watched this interview, I'm be like, that asshole, you couldn't even make a beat back then. You know what I mean? Because you evolve, you get better. I look at 5 years ago me, and I have people nodding, the 2 years ago me, some of the beats that I've had out locally, even the features that I've had, I'm like, yo, I could have killed that beat now. I look at that beat now, I could kill that beat now. So there's a whole evolution, man, and like, it never stops if you don't let it. You know, you just keep going towards that shit.
I respect it. And once again, man, I thank you for chopping it up with me, my guy.
I appreciate you, man.
Dope shit.
Thank you for pulling up, man.
Indeed.